Hey Raquel, how's it going? Trying to get this tablet to work. Hey Neil, how's it going? Lunch was awesome. Well, I don't know what's going on with this tablet. Y'all can hear me all right. Looks like anyway, so I don't need to worry about it. We'll toss this to the side. Lunch was great. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh man, I had lobster bisque soup and clam chowder, a nice house salad. Mama got her favorite, which is coconut shrimp. And so I had a little extra money in my pocket from my percentage from Aquashella, so no, Neil, we did not have room. Hey, Cuddle Hunter. We did not have room for dessert. And a great waiter. He took really good care of us. Cheddar Bay biscuits. Gave us extra. And he even gave me extra soup to take home, which I've never done that before. We don't go there that often, but still, never. Yeah, it was awesome. And then we had plans to do quite a bit of running around, but we have some new shrimp that were on the way, and they were supposed to get here tomorrow, but I started getting notifications that they were going to be early. So, and then there was complications too, in that they didn't have the address correct. Hey Carbon, how's it going? Glad you can make it over on YouTube. Oh, and somebody else is on YouTube. Oh, Neil's over there on. Neil's going back and forth. Death Roger 1997. Is that Carbon? Yeah, that's Carbon. Okay. Glad you can make it. RB, how's it going? Oh, it's been a while, so I owe you guys some updates in the fish room for sure. Thank you, Neo. Yeah, on YouTube, I don't know, just hit the notification bell on that thing, I guess. A lot of people last time I tried it were saying that it didn't notify them. I'm using the cell phone again, and as you know, it overheats and stuff. So we'll see how it holds up. But I Googled it, and they said try this, try that for overheating issues. So we're gonna try a couple of things and see if it can hold up. But I appreciate y'all being here. Basically, the shrimp story, though, what happened on the shrimp. Mama ordered two new types of Caridina shrimp. You've seen our red crystals, the white and the red. But she ordered another one that's like black and blue. RB, the lunch was good. So good. It's been a while since we've been to Red Lobster. I had some money burning a hole in my pocket, so I decided to take Mama out. She hinted about it, of course, and I agreed to it. So, no, Neil didn't get the blue bolt. It's a different. It's called a Tiger or Galaxy Tiger, and it's blue and black, whereas a blue bolt is just all blue, but it's a pastel blue, so they're still pretty. But for some reason, they seem to be more difficult to keep. Can be harder to keep. I had them before, and I had them for about a year, but they just wouldn't. I couldn't get them to reproduce, so they slowly died out on me. But I've learned some things since then, et cetera, et cetera. But Mama wanted to try. She did some research, and these are supposed to be a little easier than blue bolts, but still a very pretty little shrimp. So the Galaxy Tigers that are black and blue, and then she ordered the Pandas, which are black and white. And the Pandas also throw a red and white version of themselves. So the lady we ordered them from, we've ordered from her before, and she always has good stuff, and she she does her shipments really well. No complaints. It's a online store called Lucky Aquatics, and she pretty much does only shrimp. But yeah, she has high quality stuff. But anyway, what was happening while we were eating lunch, I was getting notifications that there was an address problem. Mama is a foodie, Raquel, she is. It says something about problem with the address, so I tried to type back in there to them, but it's, you know how those text notifications are, they're kind of like one way only. So of course me typing back, replying to it didn't do anything. So I sent an email to Lucky Aquatics, and I said, hey, here's the issue. Can you get a hold of them, because I'm not sure, how to do it. And eventually she came back and said, I'm sorry, but they don't really give me a way to send them messages and stuff. And so I was tracking the package, and it basically stalled out at the post office here not very far from us. It's our hub. So the tracking was showing me that they were sitting there. But then I got another notification as we're wrapping up Red Lobster. It said, your box has been marked return to sender. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't let them send that back. So of course me and Mama, I said, let's go. We got to go to the post office. So we jumped in the car and headed to the post office, and I explained to the nice older man behind the counter the whole story, and I gave him the tracking number, and he said, all right, well, let me go back in the back. There's a computer. I'll look it up on the computer, and I'll see if it's still here, because they notified me at 11:30 that it was marked return to sender, and I didn't get there till 1. We didn't finish eating our lunch till 1. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to be so mad if they already sent them back to. It's got Lucky Aquatics is based in Michigan, and I was worried about the shrimp, because I figured, it's bad enough to send them for a couple of days, 2-3 days in the mail, but 2-3 days back for 5 or 6 days in the mail, 7 days in the mail, that's not good. But fortunately, the guy walks around the corner. He had a package in his hand, and I'm like, yes. And he goes, yeah, this is it. They weren't scheduled to send it back until the 6 o'clock truck. And I'm like, okay, thank goodness. So, long story longer, we got them home. Everybody's fine. I got them acclimated to their new quarantine tanks, which I'll show you here in a minute. And so far they're doing good. And I tried my best to set up the tanks with the parameters that they like. And so we'll keep our fingers crossed. I'm gonna let them chill. I'm gonna feed them, let them get full and happy and in a good mood. And for about a week, and then when I think everybody's doing good, we're going to hit them with the medications, because we always medicate. Everything has to be quarantined, and we always medicate before. That way there's just no chance of anything, which I don't think. To me, it's just insurance. I've never had a problem getting anything from her, but we can't afford to have a problem. But anyway, so yeah, we had some good, but we didn't get our other errands done because I came home and it was about 3:30, going on 4 by the time I got the shrimp all settled in their new tanks, and then Jordan volunteered to go out with me to try to get most of the other errands done. Mama was too full because she stuffed herself at Red Lobster and she was getting all sleepy. So she said, I'm going to stay home. Oh, those 2 bundles of eggs. Yeah, errands aren't fun anyway. Yeah, on the eggs, let's go over here. Oops, I need to switch this around. The eggs were in this tank, and I wasn't able to, well, Jordan and I went fishing and stuff, and then Aquashella, so I kind of missed keeping up with them, so some of them hatched, some of them didn't, but I almost think that could have been just, not entirely my fault. One of those batches might not have been fertilized, but I do have, if you look around, you can see baby plecos. Those are it. So they've done a lot of growing in the last week and a half, but there's a decent amount in here. There's some in the back. See them clinging to the. They do grow quick, Neil. They do grow quick. So I don't know exactly how many are in here, but a decent amount survived. When you're breeding, you just have to realize that Mother Nature usually has the female have a lot of eggs, and that's for a good reason, because in the wild, very few survive. But of course, we try to get everybody to survive, but sometimes that doesn't happen. This is our little tank. Remember our 2.5 gallon, where I think everybody survived. There is a ton of them in here. Let me see if I can. Oops, it won't let me do that. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna have to move these out of here really quickly. There's your water banana RB. And then you can probably start to see the baby rice fish swimming around a little better because they're growing. But yeah, there's tons of plecos in here, tons of baby plecos in here. And then this tank is going to be soon to sell. They got to grow a little bit more. Yeah, they're still tiny. These are all about an inch and a quarter, inch and a half. These here. We did have leftovers from Aquashella. I'm going to swing you around here so don't get seasick. Woo-hoo. So these are bigger. These are selling size, and these are what? Yeah, there's starlights in there, Neil. Yeah. Yep, there's some starlights in there. There's some starlights in here too, but they're probably hiding. This is everybody left over from Aquashella, so we certainly didn't sell everything we took. But this tank will be, over the next month or so, however long it takes. This is a 55 gallon, so it's 4 feet long. Oh, I'm gonna drill out of the way. Had a project over So there's some bigger fish in here, and there's some young adults, but mostly medium-sized fish to small. So yeah, I'll just be working on this over the next month or so. There are starlights in here. You can't see them, but they're hiding behind the filter. Heck, there's even one zebra pleco in here. I think you can see that's the tail of the zebra pleco. He's one we didn't sell. I believe we sold 11. We ended up taking 12. I think we sold 11 zebras, so that was unbelievable. Totally awesome. But anyway, yeah, I'll be working on this tank to, local sales and stuff, because we're not shipping yet, and because these all need to go first. There's a young super white right there. And of course you got your super reds, snow white longfin, snow white shortfin. Neil said, what do you sell the most of at Aquashella? We sold out, we sold out of our crystal red shrimp. We did literally sell out of those. We brought 16 bags of them, 5 shrimp in a bag. And we actually did sell all of them. I think the second most was, what was the second most? Probably snow white longfins. And then starlights and super reds and shortfin snows pretty much tied. But yeah, the crystal red shrimp did amazing. And the funny thing is, I think the reason why is because we found out later we were the only vendors there that actually had them. Could be, Neil. Could be. That's the difference between a long fin and a short fin right there. Short fin, long fin. Yeah, they don't much care if they have poop hanging off of their butts. And then of course everybody remembers this tank. It's overdue for a water change, so it's kind of getting some tannins in the water to make it a little bit yellow looking. And I put some food in there, so they got it all stirred up. But anyway, let's I'm gonna close your eyes. I'm gonna swing you back around. All right, so this are the new shrimp. What did I do with the flashlight? These are called Galaxy Tigers. Let me try to zoom in first. Okay, that's not working. But you see how they're black and white with some blue in them? Yeah, I don't think we need the flashlight. Plus what's cool about them, RB, is... Oh, hang on. They can get a metallic look to them, too. Let's see if we can go... It's a little too close, I think. But yeah, they're different. There's something different that we've never had before. So I think if people can get a close look at them, they'll like them. So yeah, these are the shrimp. So yeah, blue and black with a little bit of white. I think they may become one of my new favorites. Kind of pretty, huh? So we'll just keep our fingers crossed that everybody makes it through quarantine and the medications, and then we can grow them up and start having some babies. And these are, just to refresh your memory, these are red crystals. So they're the same ones that we sold out of at Aquashella. They remind you of zebra plecos. Yeah, maybe just a horizontal version instead of, or I mean vertical version instead of horizontal. Here's a bunch of rice fish trying to all eat the same chunk of rapashi. Those are the platinums, which I think Jordan and I decided we're going to move them outside to the pond over the summer and see if they can make a billion of them. And then the next door is the orange rice fish. We're going to move them out too. Hey Astro, what are you doing? All right, come on up here. Say hi to everybody. Have you been a good boy today? Huh? It's Astrocam. Astro. Yeah, RB. Yeah, I'm fixing to show you the second kind that Mama got. As a matter of fact, that's the tank right there that I got ready for them today. Astro, everybody's saying hi to you. Are you camera shy? You don't like to be. All right, here. Whoops, I dropped it. All right, here. You're going to have to get up because I got to come this way. This room ain't big enough for the two of us. All right, so we're going to take a look here. These are, if I can get this camera sit. These are what are called the Panda King Kong shrimp. They come in black and white. Here's and also they have a red and white version. The red and white, you might say, well, what do you need those for? You've already got the red crystals. So it's a good point. It's true. But it's a different kind of a different species. So the black and white is the ones we care the most about, and the black and whites occasionally throw a red and white baby. So you end up separating them and not breeding them. So we'll end up selling the red and whites for probably the same price as a crystal, but technically they are a different shrimp, a little bit different. Oh, there's a good There's a good black and white one down there. And you can see you have varying degrees. To me, that one's really cool. Got a lot of black. And then you have this one in the back that's been swimming around crazy. Yeah, so they're different. They're different. But we'll have to see. That's just a bristlenose I had in there. His job is to hang out with these until they go through quarantine and eat the algae off the glass. Help keep the tank clean in the meantime. But yeah, those are the two new shrimp. And I don't know if you remember. Let's turn the light on, shall we? I know it's kind of bright, isn't it? Kind of bright. That's my zebra rug that Janae bought me. I got to get it hung up on the wall and stuff. Yeah, Raquel, that's the ultimate goal, really. I got to get them making babies so that we don't lose them, because it'll be a waste of money. But that's the old zebra rug. It's real soft, pretty deep. Handmade, she said. So I'm looking forward to getting that up on the wall here in a little bit. Oh, and can y'all keep a secret? Seriously, can you keep a secret? Tomorrow is Dream Hacks, right? And I didn't have much time last week. RB can't. So what my plan is, because Mama can't go to Dream Hacks, right? So my plan is I made up a T-shirt, and I'm going to wear this T-shirt underneath another shirt, and I'm going to reveal this T-shirt at the right time. But once it's revealed, then I'm gonna, if I run into like Tyler One or anybody, I'm gonna have a Sharpie with me, and I'm gonna have them sign the shirt for Mama. And this is the shirt. No, it's not a picture of Mama. She wouldn't let me do that. I just threw this together on short notice, and they got it to me like yesterday. Yeah, so I'm hoping I can bring this shirt home after the weekend to Mama and say, look at all these people that signed this shirt for you, Mama. And hopefully I'll score some brownie points with her. Because that's what it's all about, is stacking up the brownie points, right? I thought it was funny. So yeah, I'm going to have that on underneath of a regular shirt. And then I'm going to just pop it open like Superman, you know. And probably yell, save the road. Oh, I know, yeah, everybody's going to want to know where Mama's at. But because of this guy, he goes nuts if we leave him at home alone. He goes insane. He's just never been alone his whole life, so he can't handle it. Never ever. Have you? He's a fun dog, but he's, I don't know if he's worth his trouble, all the trouble he causes. But anyway, I mean, tomorrow is Friday, and Jordan and I are going to go up there, just us two. And I think Sunday is gonna be, Sunday is gonna be the raid. I think the OnlyFans raid. So I think Nainer will probably go with us. So I think all three of us will probably be up there on Sunday. We can watch some starlights and Rissonos eat. Yeah. Yeah, Neo, it's Friday. It's a 3-day deal. So Jordan and I are going to be up there tomorrow, just the two of us. And I think then Nainer will join us on Sunday when we go back. But Mama's got to stay home the whole time. Unless I go tomorrow, and maybe I can talk her into going Sunday. But I don't know. She has a thing about, she's a germaphobe and stuff, and so she has a thing about large crowds. She's always thinking she's gonna catch something. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people know what she looks like anyway. But if she's there with me, they'd figure it out real quick. But that's what I mean. It'd probably be either it's got to be her or me, not both of us at the same time, which is unfortunate. But are you leaving? Okay, don't be picking up stuff that you're gonna destroy. Go find your bone. Go find your rope or your bone. You can chew on either one of those with nothing else. Okay? So yeah, I mean, getting all four of us together out in public would probably be slim to none. Unless we could find somebody to babysit our dog, which there are not people just volunteering for that. But like I said, Mama, you talking about that? That's a piece of driftwood. Hey, Nerd Poles, how's it going over there on YouTube? Appreciate you stopping by. Oh, it's Regulus. Okay. All right, I'm familiar with that name, Regulus. But yeah, besides Mama's phobia about large crowds, she has trouble with motion sickness and driving in the car. So it's a real challenge. When she's in the car with me, I have to drive like somebody's in the back seat splitting a diamond or something. Now, only if you're really old will you know what that reference is referring to. So yeah, I figured the next best thing was me get people to sign that shirt for her. So no, it actually was just a commercial way back in the 70s, I think. I think what they were selling was, and I was a kid, right? So it's a long time ago. I think what they were selling was the shock absorbers were so good in the car that they literally had a guy with that was in the back seat splitting a diamond, and he was like, steady, steady. But they claimed the car had such a smooth ride to it. It was probably a big old Cadillac or something. Such a smooth ride to it that you could do that. You could split a diamond in the back seat, which was utterly ridiculous. But they were trying to make a point. There's a little Starlight. Well, everybody loved the Starlights at Aquashella, but we probably sold about 5, maybe 6 of them. Yeah, Regulus. Well, like I said, you have to be really old to even remember that commercial. I don't know why it stuck with me through the years. It just has. But yeah, when she's oh, you saying this thing right here? That's a coconut shell. I don't know which one you're talking about. There's actually no rocks in here. This is all driftwood. These are all chunks of driftwood. That's chala wood.
Cholo.
Choro?
Cholo.
Cholo?
Yeah.
Okay, cholo wood. It comes from, yeah. It comes from a cactus. It's the cholo cactus, like in Arizona. You can, when it dies and dries out, that's what that stuff is. If any of you guys live in the Southwest, no, not yet, Neo. Don't give them any ideas. Any of you guys live in the Southwest and you can pick that stuff up off the ground for free, you should. I'll tell him, RB, when he comes back by. Because they sell it at the fish stores because it's good for plecos to chew on. But it's not cheap. So yeah, if you know anybody, just talk them into mailing you a bunch of it, and then you can turn around and sell it online. It's just dead cactus stems is what it is. Called cholo wood. Yeah, that wood with all the holes in it, that's just a dead chunk of cactus. The stem part of it, I think, it's not the needle parts. I don't think it has needles on it, but it's when it dies. But I'm not an expert on them because I wish I lived out there almost, or I should just take a trip out there and gather up a bunch of it because it's valuable. This right here, I was just having fun with redoing this tank, and that's a Amazon sword plant, a young one. And I did that, and I thought, it kind of looks like a palm tree. I stuffed it in the end. That's a bamboo drinking straw, is what that is. Yeah, I thought it might be kind of cute where you could do a bunch of them in a row or something, along the back of a tank or something. If somebody had kind of a theme like that. But I kind of accidentally came upon that. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll buy a bunch of them and see if I can make them. What I've thought about too is, though, I need some black lines across to make the trunk look more like the palm tree trunk. Cholo cactuses are menaces. They let off These barb spine covered balls, I didn't realize that they made such good tank wood. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when they're alive, but once they die and they dry out, then you can harvest them. But yeah, I thought I have a way I can burn some lines into the bamboo to make the horizontal black lines from the trunk. Oh, do you, Neil? Yeah. Well, I imagine, yeah. I'm not shocked. I guess I know where you live, the general area where you live, so maybe I'm not surprised. Well, if you go outside and pick up a few sticks of them, cut them up into 6 inches, put them in a box, and send them to me. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't have you do all that work. But that's about the biggest update is the new shrimp. I don't know if everybody saw the new shrimp. It's called a Galaxy Tiger. It's got like 3 colors: white, blue, and black. But yeah, we bought 10 of them. Yeah, Regulus, this is the new one we got in today. So I got to put them through quarantine and put them through medication. I wish you'd get out of the shadow because that one's got a lot of really nice blue on it. All right, Neil, yeah. How can you tell which is male and which is female? You can with shrimp. You can tell them. Let's practice with some of these red ones here. Okay, let me show you. I'm going to point out a big chunky female. Well, it's hard when they're all bunched together, but okay, so this one here is for sure a girl. But do you see, and she actually has some eggs, yeah, under the hood. But you see in general how her body kind of has that sag spot, that whiter spot. And then, like this little guy is a boy because he's slimmer. You see, he doesn't have his body behind his legs, doesn't do that little sag down spot. Oh, by the way, RB says hello.
Oh, hi RB. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Did you show them the new arrivals?
Yes. Everybody likes them. But Neil was asking how you tell a boy shrimp from a girl shrimp.
Did you move that super whites from there to there?
No, there was a couple in the tank that I moved the whole lot.
Okay.
Yeah, so those did not go to Aquashella.
So we have quite a few of those to sell then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I'm going to be working on that, yeah.
All right.
Raquel says, hi, Jordy.
Hey, Raquel.
Yeah, Neil, Slim is the male and Chunky is the females. But they have to get pretty close to adulthood before you really notice it. It's like all fish and shrimp. It gets hard to tell the sexes of them until they start to mature. What is Jordy munching on? Wow, Neil, you have some good ears. I don't know. I don't know what he's making something for himself to eat. Yeah. But yeah, generally the females, and the reason why is because they like her. She's carrying all those eggs, and that's extra space to carry the eggs. Oh, and these red ones actually throw an orange one. You see, there's a couple orange ones in here. We're gonna put all these out in the pond and just see what happens over the summer. Because I got to make room for the other more expensive shrimp. But there's an orange female. You see her eggs? So the red ones can throw different colors. Some are better than others, of course. Okay, Regulus, yeah. But yeah, these are going out in the pond for the summer. Jordy, Neo heard you eating. She wants to know what you're eating.
A cookie.
A cookie?
It was the last one. Mom was going to make herself sick.
Oh, the double chocolate chunk peanut butter cookies or whatever?
Peanut butter chocolate chunk cookies, yes.
Yeah, okay. So now they're officially gone?
Yeah, they're gone.
Okay.
Honestly, I regret eating it. It's way too much sugar.
Yeah. Regulus says hi.
Hey, Regulus. Have fun with your stream, Dad.
Bye. Yeah, well, Neo, I the waiter was so nice. He gave me 2 extra lobster bisques to go. So when I came home, I immediately gave one to Jordan because she was in the middle of eating anyway. And I saved the other one for myself for later, which I already ate. But it was delicious. The clam chowder was really good too. But, you know, we don't go out to eat that much, so I think when we do, we appreciate it more. But, yeah, the Red Lobster, they may be a little more expensive, but they're not. And Mama said her hush puppies that came with her coconut shrimp weren't greasy. RB, could zebra plecos or the super whites and the panda shrimp live in the same tank for a black and white themed tank? Yeah, well, no, I take that back. The problem, RB, is the zebra plecos like warm water. All right, Niffy, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. The zebras like really warm water, so none of these shrimp like water that warm. Neo, I said I hadn't been to Red Lobster in years. Yeah, they have a lunchtime special, is what I got, and I got it the last 2 times I've gone. It's endless soup, salad, and Cheddar Bay biscuits for like $12.99. It's not bad. And they have like 4 or 5 different kinds of soups that you can pick from. No, it's not bad at all. It's really good. Their salad was super fresh, and they, you know, the thing I was complaining about Red Lobster in the past is that you pay a lot, but you get, it's good, but you get a little. Of course, that was when I was eating a lot more. I've been trying to not eat so much and sit down and literally demolish something. So today I ate 2 bowls of soup and the salad and a couple of biscuits, and I was stuffed. Whereas, you know, years ago I could have demolished that and probably 2 more bowls of soup. What about the starlights of the new Galaxy shrimp? Yeah. So the zebras, you can't really. It's hard for me to put anything with them because they literally like to be in really warm water, 82 to 84 degrees. And while a lot of stuff can be in there. The problem is it speeds up their metabolism so fast that they go through their life cycle so quickly that you end up shortening their lifespan. But no, you could, starlights don't. Yeah, you could do a starlight tank with a Galaxy Tiger or a King Kong black and white King Kong Panda. Yeah, you could totally do that. Yeah, it's just based on temperature. The Caridinias like to be cooler than the Neos. Like these red Bloody Marys, they can tolerate warmer temperatures, but even these won't go as hot as a Zebra. Trust me, I've tried it, and they just don't last very long. In with the Zebras, it's just the water's too hot. Neil said, I like the Olive Garden salad, so I go there every Veterans Day for my free lunch. Awesome. I haven't been to an Olive Garden in forever. Are there purple shrimp? I feel that it's the only color shrimp we haven't seen. Yes. But, Neo, it is a color that is hard to come by. So they're very, very expensive. Trust me, there's plenty of people that are working on it. But it's because it's a new color, it's unstable. So, but yeah, it's I've seen a few of them, and they are tremendously beautiful. But I'm hoping I can get these to develop and get their blue going on. Yeah, Regulus purple. You might want to Google it just to see, but they're amazing. I don't think it's focusing very well on them. Let me see if I can get that guy in the back. He's underneath the light, so maybe. And he's got some blue in him. It's just not crystal clear on it. Metallic purple Caridinia shrimp. Yeah, that's probably what they would call them. Yeah, and they're, and honestly, I don't expect them to look that great right now because they've been through a shipping process and everything. Yeah, that's the name when I Googled them. Yeah, metallic purple Caridinia. Yeah. They're stunning, but it's really early in their development, so it's probably not even classified as something that you could really buy. And in other words, you could buy, they can produce one or two and they're really nice, but then when they try to breed them, the offspring don't come out purple. You know what I mean? So they call it the line not being set. So the genetics is, they just have to go through working on it and breeding, and then eventually they'll get the line set where they can make, where purples will make purples. Trust me, I'm not very good at genetics, talking about genetics, but basically that's the layman's terms of it, the gist of it. It's just like these white, snow white Bristlenose. They, some guy one day all of a sudden had a white one, and he's like, "Whoa, that's different," and he saved it back and bred it back to his parents, and maybe didn't get any white ones, but he kept on breeding back from like daughter to father or whatever, and finally get one or two more. And then once you got a male female of those two, you try to breed them together, and there's a lot that goes into it to develop a new color. And that's basically what's going on with the purple shrimp right now. It's still in the early development stages. Regulus, do people chill the water or box to preserve the fish in transit? The shrimp today did not have a ice pack in with them, but they were cool. They didn't overheat. But yeah, if it's going to be hot, you can do an ice pack. Yeah, when it's the other side of the coin is if it's hot, you do a heat pack to keep them warm, and if it's cold. So we'll be facing that this fall when we start shipping. We're in the process of shopping for heat packs right now, so we'll have them ready when we need them. And there's a lot of people that will refuse to even ship if it's too hot or too cold, which that'll happen for us too, I'm sure. Because you're like, no, it's just too cold, and it may be nice here in Texas, but if I'm shipping a package up north, I'm gonna check the weather at their zip code, and I'm saying, no, man, you're below freezing. We're in the 50s here, but you're below freezing. I can't ship it. I have to wait till you're going to have warm weather up there, or spring, whichever comes first. Neo said, do you have adult starlights? Well, I have my my breeding pair always up here above the 10 gallons. That's the male. The female is always hiding. She's very good at hiding. She only basically, let me see. Oh, my flashlight's in my pocket. Okay. Let me see if we can shine a light on him. But yeah, he's a big, beautiful boy. The female's pretty too. She just doesn't have the bristles like he does. Regulus said, I've ordered food from places and will wait until it's cool for delivery. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, starlights are shyer than most other bristlenoses. But they're one of my favorites, for sure. Oh, there's a young panda. I don't know if you can see him back there on that coconut shell. He's kind of going where you can't see him anymore. Yeah, I need to really get this tank whipped around. It's getting kind of dirty. There's a female super yellow. She wants to come out and eat. Oh, I think I scared her. She saw me move. But the male is in a different tank with some youngsters. And I'll be moving him back and leave the youngsters in the tank. So she's getting, look how chunky she is. She is, female fish are good at eating. They know what their job is, and their job is to make babies, make eggs and make babies. So They will eat and eat and eat. Yeah, and you know what? Oops, she saw me. I'm trying to be still, but she's not dumb. Something cool I found out about these super whites and super yellows. The pattern you're talking about, the pattern, RB. I found this out a couple years ago, and I thought it was a really cool fact. I didn't even realize it, but each pattern on these fish is unique to that fish. It's pretty much like a fingerprint. No two fish are alike. Yeah, Neo, I know. She's like, I'm trying to come out and eat, and there's some dude watching me. But you see how she's short and stocky, and the males are longer and thinner. It pretty much holds true in the fish world. Even these catfish, if you look at these catfish, you'll notice, on the pandas especially, you can pick out the females from the males. If you really look at them, you can. You can just tell. Generally, I mean, I've seen some males that just overeat, and so they can look like a girl because they're just really chunky. But yeah, there's a lot of fish that you know, bristlenose plecos are kind of unique in that their species, the males get the bristles, and so once they're old enough, there's no problem telling them apart. But there's a lot of other fish that don't get bristles. A lot of other plecos, a lot of catfish. The males and females, a lot of them look the same. So you really have to go by body shape. Is your only way you can try to tell who's a girl and who's a boy. There's some younger pandas in here. I always like to see if I can spot any baby pandas. Did I lose my flashlight already? Yeah, I should really. There's a small, oops, probably can't see him now, but there's a small, or a pretty small baby panda back there. Not that one, but there is a small baby panda back there. The babies are usually pretty good about knowing their limitations. They're never going to come out here and get in the middle of that feeding frenzy right there. Even though they'd probably be fine if they're big enough. Yeah, Regulus, I'm just gonna still wait. Like that green laser right there, that's a male. Just look at his body. And yet there's a couple of giant females right there. Plus, honestly, you know, sometimes I can tell the difference between, especially in plecos, between the male and female because of who comes out to eat first. No joke, the females usually are the more aggressive eaters. The males will sit back and bide their time. Yeah, exactly, Regulus. They are. It's pretty amazing. But anyway, yeah, we had a shrimp fiasco, our new shrimp, but we got them. We went and got them directly from the post office before they were going to just because our address had missing one number. They couldn't figure it out, and I'm like, well, our regular guy's been, you know, delivering our mail for a decade, and he goes, yeah, your regular guy took the day off, so it was a sub. And the sub didn't know y'all's last name, so they said, just send it back. Return to sender. Because basically they don't really care. Neil, the ones with the blue stripes on the tops, still no babies? Yeah, I haven't seen anything from them, Neil. I've resigned myself to the fact that I probably won't get babies from them, so I've just been enjoying them. But who knows? We could get a surprise. But just like the green lasers, I'm just going to enjoy them. But I'll be ecstatic if one day I see a little tiny baby green laser swimming around in here. The pandas I know are going to breed. I'm going to have to start selling them pretty soon because it get too many of them. Wrigley says, I'm glad it worked out in the end. Yeah, me too. I was thrilled when I saw him come out with the package because I didn't want him to send them all the way back to Michigan where they came from. Because I was worried that they might not even survive the trip back, you know. Yeah, those are called neon blue rasboras. And if I get them, they swim a little higher in the water column. Let's see if we add any light. Yeah, they're pretty. They're real pretty. I wish I had more room so I could dedicate a whole tank to them. Because I mean, they probably would breed for me if I just gave them their own tank, but I'm kind of pressed for space and stuff, so. But yeah, they're really pretty. Supposedly, how you tell the males on these is, and see, that's the thing. I don't think I have any girls. I think they're all boys. Their anal fin is black if they're boys. If they're girls, it's supposed to be clear. And every one of these, there's 5 left. Every one of these has black on the anal fin. So, you know, I can sit here and hope and cross my fingers all I want, but if I literally got nothing but males, it's never going to happen. Well, they would eat baby shrimp. So, yeah, I can't really put them in a shrimp tank that I care about the shrimp, you know. They would eat the babies. And even these catfish would eat baby shrimp too. So this tank right now doesn't have any. Well, I think there's one shrimp in there. Very bad looking Bloody Mary that somehow got in here. But I mean, I might try putting some red crystals in here just let them go. And see if they can successfully make some babies. Neil said when you clear out the 2-gallon tank, you could put the green lasers in there. No, it's too small, Neil. Way too small. But yeah, I might move something around. Oh, there's a juvenile yellow, super yellow. See it back? Oh, it took off. I did put a couple juveniles in here, and we already know that they've had one batch, so there could be a couple of tiny super yellows in here. Jana hates that I call them super yellows because they're not a high grade super yellow. They are like just the start of making my own line, but basically I'm going to try to do what everybody else does, and it's a long-term project, and just keep the best of the best every generation, and you know, whoever looks the yellowest I will hold back and grow for a breeder, and that's all you can do. Just just pick the ones that are. You got to start somewhere though. So I think the male and female that I have right now aren't bad. They're at worst they're a cream color. She wants to eat really bad, but every time she comes out, she sees me move or Astro move. Somebody makes a noise. So I should probably turn the light off and let her come out. But and my red lizard catfish still haven't done anything. I'm still patiently waiting on them. So we'll see. Jordan told me I'm going to have to make some hard decisions come fall, though. So you know. I kind of have a deadline for some of these fish to make a move, you know. And oh, there's some big starlights. Yeah, everybody at Aquashello fell in love with the starlights. I actually sold a big male. I had a big male I didn't know was in the tank, and I caught him and took him to Aquashello and sold him. He went for a decent amount of money, so that was good. And I also sold. I did sell an extra male of a cream / soup yellow. I had an extra male, so I sold him. Granted, the super whites are better, higher quality. So, but I still got $100 for the yellow male. But he was full grown. So that's. The guy basically liked him. He said, because I explained to him, he says he's not the highest quality, and I wouldn't recommend him for breeding if you're going for the whites. And he said, no, I just like him. I said, well, I had him marked a little higher. I said, well, I could do 100 on him for you. And he's like, great, I'll take him, because he's a full-grown male. He's like 4.5 inches long. Neil said, so fish get separation anxiety? No, I hadn't noticed anything. They get stressed out when you catch them and put them in a bag of water. Some fish, like the starlights, when they get stressed, they will get some gray lines across their back. So sometimes at Aquashello, I had to explain the small ones in the bags why they had a couple of gray patches across their back. But like that guy in the back there, that starlight in the back, you can see, you know, he's not stressed out. Generally, if they're in the tanks, there's no gray patches on them. Yeah, Neil, the gray, it's almost like the fish, the mood that the fish is in, right? Anybody remember the old mood rings? That was probably back in the 70s. You can kind of see Mr. Zebra's out. Or he's not totally hidden. Yeah, so a lot of fish you can tell if they're stressed. They'll give you signs that they're stressed. Sometimes it comes out in their color pattern changes. Oh, the zebra. There he is, rare sighting. When we came back from Aquashello, I just threw everything we had leftovers of. I just put them all in this tank. Yeah, the zebras are amazing fish. I mean, the starlights are awesome, but I think the zebra takes it. RB said he had one when he was a kid. Yeah, I think I had one for myself for a little while. Yeah, longfin. Yeah, Regulus. They're amazing fish. Yeah, there's a longfin that's eating. Sometimes the camera has trouble on because they're so brilliantly white. There's a male in here. I didn't sell him. Almost sold him. But look at that. Look, that's a full-grown male. Look at that. That sponge is 6 inches. A sponge filter is 6 inches tall. So that's a full-grown male longfin snow white bristlenose. He doesn't have a lot of bristles because he was in the tank with the other breeders, and he was not dominant. He was subdominant to them. And so their hormones, they try to stifle their hormones so that they can kind of look like a girl instead of a boy so they don't get beat up on. Believe it or not, that's true. So his bristles will start growing when he gets in a proper situation where he realizes that he's the biggest fish in the tank. He don't have to worry about getting beat up anymore. Hey, Seaward Pass. I don't keep any snails on. I take that back. I have some assassin snails, a few assassin snails, and I keep them. Hang on, we're going to swing around here. This tank has been a secret for a while, so we're not going to get into it too much, but where is it? There it is. See that what is it, conical shaped shell? That's an assassin snail. They kill other snails. This tank is under quarantine. I've got some new fish in here that I'm keeping secret from you on purpose. Yes. So you didn't see that, right? You didn't see that. So, I personally, snails are beneficial for a tank. Yeah, I'm just trying to I want to put a new fish in introduce another fish, but I want it to be a surprise. But you probably saw it already anyway. RB, shh. You have some too, yellow and black stripe. They ate the pest snails. Yeah, exactly. That's what they're good for. Seaward, that's what they're good for. And that's what I used them for originally back in the day. I had ram's horn snails, an infestation, bad infestation of ram's horns in that 40 breeder tank that you've seen with all the pandas in it. I had a bad infestation of them, and here's the problem with snails. They're beneficial to your tank. It's okay to have them. But if you feed a lot of food, and some would argue too much food, right? Then there's a lot of leftovers. And the snails are really good about cleaning up the leftovers. But what it means is you're feeding the snails a lot as well. And that triggers them to say, hey, life is good. Let's mate and make 1.5 billion babies. And so that's what happens. You can have snails, but if you do, you should watch how much you feed. Well, I'm a breeder. I not overfeed, but I feed a lot. on purpose because I want my fish to be fat and happy. Because just like the snails, they will say, hey, let's do the tango and make some babies for this guy. He's taking good care of us. He's feeding us really well. Let's make some babies. So that combination means if I have snails in my tank, I'm going to have a snail problem. So I decided long ago that I'm going to get some assassins, and it took the assassins about a year, but they killed every snail in the tank, and I had to move assassins from tank to tank until they eradicated every last ram's horn. So right now I only have a few assassins in one tank and 0 snails anywhere else. Neil said, I just realized I got to make sure the child's in bed. Be back. Okay, Neil. Yeah, no problem. Sorry. How do they kill them, Neil? You can Google it, Neil. There's videos. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. But I mean, you can manually remove snails from your tank, but you'll never get all the eggs. And so, in my mind, I didn't want to reset the whole tank. Just empty the whole tank and take it outside, hose it out, scrape any eggs. And even then, you put stuff back in. If you're gonna miss the eggs, you won't see them, and it's not gonna work. So to me, the assassin snails was a necessary evil, but it works. Trust me, Seaward knows it works. Seaward said, I got the snails with some plants. In like 2 months, there was at least 50 of them, and they grow fast. Yeah, that's the problem. And because of that, if I get plants, like I do have plants, that tank where the assassins, that's part of the reason why the assassins are in there, because I bought plants from Petco, and I don't know if there's snail eggs on there, so in goes the assassins with my plants. That's a quarantine tank, and that I've literally had them under quarantine for 2 months until I know good and for sure that nothing's being born, no snails are being born, and if they are, the assassins will kill them. Yeah, well, snails like to lay eggs on the plants, so that's probably the number one way that people inherit snails is buying plants from somebody. So yeah, I don't have any snails, and here's the upside to it. Which I'm going to get into selling plants too, and trying to sell some plants, but if you can guarantee to your customer that it is snail free, that they don't have to worry about it, that you can charge more for the plants. They're willing to pay more because you're guaranteeing that there's no snail eggs in them. Seaward says, do assassins ever go for your shrimp? That's a hot topic. I have witnessed it myself one time. Most of the time, a healthy shrimp, if an assassin starts to crawl onto the shrimp, usually a healthy shrimp will say, hey, get off me, and they'll flick their tails a couple of times and get away from, get the snail off of them. Because if the snail gets a hold of it with its full foot, then it's pretty much over. Because that's what they do. They clamp onto other snails' shells, and then they have a tube with some teeth on the end of it that they reach around and start chewing on the snail. So I did see one of my assassins I've seen assassins try to get on a snail or a shrimp, and the shrimp was eating the food at the time, so it was kind of, I guess, distracted. And he actually, the assassin got on top of the shrimp and had a hold of it, and I stuck my hand in there and basically grabbed the assassin, and he let go of the shrimp. So, I think it's probably rare, but in that case, I would chalk it up to a really stupid shrimp. You know, Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest includes your intelligence level too. So I mean, that shrimp, you know, may not have been the brightest bulb or the sharpest tool in the shed, etc., etc. But yeah, it doesn't happen very often. If they can get a hold of something, then they'll try to eat it. So generally, now the other thing I will tell you, Seaward, I don't know if you're doing any breeding with plecos. I found this out the hard way. You don't ever want assassins if you're breeding plecos, because this actually happened to me. I saw it with my own eyes, even took a picture of it, which I lost because it was years ago. Different cell phone, 2 different cell phones since then, but the male guards the eggs in the cave, right? So the pleco eggs are in the cave. Well, I had a ton of assassin snails in that tank, and next thing I know, the male's acting really irritated and agitated, and there's a few assassins he's knocking out of the cave, and they come rolling out. Well, I shined a flashlight in there, and there was about 20 assassins that had worked their way past him, and he just got overwhelmed by sheer numbers, and they ate the eggs. Raquel, yeah. I've been talking, haven't I? Yeah, so Seaward, remember that if you're ever breeding and you're going to have fish eggs anywhere around, don't do it with assassins in the tank, because they'll go after them. I don't know if they can smell them or what, but it's just open season. As far as they're concerned, that's easy protein. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. There's about 20 of them in there, and he was fighting off as many as he could, but they just overwhelmed him. So, you know, sometimes you learn that stuff the hard way. But yeah, because of that, I have the assassins. I consider them a weapon that must be respected. And so I use them as such. But I respect them so that it's not willy-nilly. I'm very careful about where they are. And right now they are literally in one tank and one tank only. And they lay their eggs in the substrate. The female of the species buries herself down and goes down an inch or so and lays her eggs in the substrate. And the babies hatch down in there, and they will eat whatever they find down in there, but then they grow a little bit and then they come out, and you'll see them, and they're perfect little replicas of the adults. The shell looks exactly the same. So anyway, that's probably more than you wanted to know about assassin snails. Just respect them. Just respect them. Because you know, and I have other people who say, "Well, I don't want to trade one snail problem for another snail problem." But here's the deal: assassins don't reproduce very fast at all, so you can very easily control their population. And the thing is, they're about the only snail that people are willing to pay money for. The only small snail. Unless you have folks that have a puffer fish that eat snails, then they'll buy ram's horns by the tens of hundreds, you know, to feed to their puffer fish. But otherwise, you can always sell assassins where you can't give away ram's horns or Malaysian trumpet snails or pond snails. All those are considered pest snails most of the time. seaward past the pea puffers eating huge snails was hilarious. Yeah, they'll try it, won't they? I had a pea puffer for a short time, but I couldn't really put a lot of stuff with him, so I ended up rehoming him. I just gave him away to somebody else who had more. But they're cute little fish. Very cute. Mama loves them. She thinks they're the cutest thing she's ever seen. And they're very aware of you. I think they have a decent intelligence level. So they'll see you coming, approaching the tank, and they'll come greet you. But they can't live with a lot of other fish. They've been known to nip fins of other fish. They would destroy any shrimp if you had any shrimp in them. They'd just even adults, they'd destroy them. So you just got to kind of learn, do your research before you buy stuff. I know it's hard. Yeah, they're aggressive. They're like miniature piranhas almost, but they're so cute because they're round and they got big buggy eyes and they look at you. These are platinum rice fish. We're decided we're gonna put these out in some ponds this summer. More baby plecos. Snow whites. We got lots of snow whites. Let's see if that guy back there will. They just won't get in focus real good. What I'll do over the next couple of days is probably try to get some good pictures of those guys so we can actually see what they look like. This is we got this guy at Aquashella because we're short one male super long super red longfin, and he was high quality. Hey Ghost Badger, how's it going? So we made a trade. I traded the guy. Yeah, he's got some bristles on him. He'll get more. We traded a fellow vendor from Oklahoma a longfin snow white female for this longfin super red male. Yeah. But he's going to be going through quarantine himself here in a little bit, about a week. Just to make sure he's not got nothing going on with him. No parasites or anything. I mean, I expect him to go through with flying colors. He'll be fine, but you can't assume, it's not worth the risk to assume anything. Oh, and I'm going to show you the female. Well, I don't think she's out. But these are a bunch of babies. Super reds. Long fin and short fin. Babies. I bred the long fin female super red with the short fin male because it's not ideal, but that's all we had at the time. Hey Octane, how's it going? Glad you could make it. So yeah, you know, the babies, that's their first batch. So hopefully this other male will get through quarantine, and I'll introduce the longfin male with the longfin female, and then we'll get nothing but longfins from them from that point forward. With this first batch, we might get 50-50. I don't know. Jordan says it'll probably be more like 60-40 60% shorts, 40% longs. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Did you answer Seward's question? I stepped away for a moment, RB. I think I did, but I don't know unless I missed it. I don't know which question we're talking about. Oh, that one maybe. I'm thinking about a fish partner for normal Caridina. Do you think rice fish or rasboras are better? That's probably the question you're talking about, RB. Okay. Think about a fish partner for normal Caridina. Are you talking about Neo Caridina? Seaward? I would probably. Oh, not Neos. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think. Yeah, not so. Caradinas. Caradinas like to be a little cooler than Neo Caradinas. So I do something that they consider a cold water fish, like a mountain minnow. What are they called? White cloud mountain minnows. They've got a longfin version of those. Jordan was thinking about getting some because they are just beautiful, and they love cold water. They thrive in cold water. So you could have a tank with those in it. As a matter of fact, him and I were seriously talking about the tank behind him that when he streams that you guys can see of doing Caradinas with mountain minnows, longfin versions, because then there'd be some activity going on behind him. But that'd be my top recommendation because we're thinking about doing it ourselves. And mountain minnows or they're called something else too. They got a common name. They are tough. They are hard, very hard to kill. They're super hardy, but they love cold water. They can put up with room temperature, but you certainly don't want to put them in a heated tank. And you're not going to be doing that anyway with your Caradinas. It'd be a cooler tank, room temperature at the warmest. Anyway, and I had some out in the pond a couple summers back. They weren't the longfin version, but I don't know if it's the sunlight or what, but the males were just gorgeous. So yeah, I'm anxious to. I told him I really seriously want to get some more. But that'd be my top recommendation to you. Beyond that, small rasboras would be fine. Rice fish, I don't know if I'd go with because they get a little bigger. So I feel like they would probably snap up your baby shrimp. But some of your rasboras stay pretty small. What was it? I was impressed with one. I got him as a bycatch. The small little red rasbora. Why can't I remember that name? I mean, they're tiny. They stay small, and that thing lived for like 5 years, and he was by himself, just swimming around the tank. Because I got some plecos from some guy, and it was a bycatch. He goes, I said, oh, there's another fish in there. He goes, that's fine, you can have it. And that thing lived for like 5 years. Tiny little rasbora. Chili, that's right. Yep, that's what it was. See, thank you. Yeah, a little chili rasbora. And he's a really pretty little fish in his own right. But he never got over half an inch. And I've never messed with him before, so I didn't know. But yeah, a little group of chili rasboras. It depends on your color of your Caradinas. But the chili rasboras are reddish orange and stuff. But yeah, if you don't do the mountain minnows, white cloud minnow, white cloud mountain minnow. That's what they're called, the white clouds. The white clouds actually come in albino versions too. You can get. But yeah, if you don't do the white clouds, I'd probably try the chili rasboras with the Caradinas. But anything stays as small as you can keep it. You know, guppies would be too big. Guppies wouldn't do well anyway because you're doing low pH. Guppies like high pH and hard water. But I'm just saying, as far as size, you know, rice fish are about the size of a guppy, so they're going to eat baby shrimp. You could have a small pleco in there too. The plecos won't bother your shrimp. As you know, I have plecos and shrimp together all over this place, and they don't bother each other at all. But it depends on the size of the tank whether you can go crazy with, you know, 1 or 2 plecos. But I know what you mean. You want something swimming around in mid water. So yeah, check out the white clouds and the chili rasboras maybe. But yeah, I forgot we talked about that. I have to go see if I can find somebody that's got them though. Yeah, the white clouds really have a lot of good color, but man, they did out in the pond through the summer. They just were gorgeous. I really think the sunshine helps the fish with their colors. And for some reason, we can't seem to duplicate that with our artificial lights on the tanks. I don't know why. You would think that somebody could come up with a tank light that maybe it's too dangerous. That shoots out some UV rays. It's probably the UV rays that makes the fish color darken. But anyway, that's probably about it. I've been gabbing for an hour and 43 minutes. The phone said it was going to overheat for a couple of times, but it hasn't shut down that I know of. But yeah, eventually, don't forget to go to my YouTube, Gary's Fish Room. I think there's a TX at the end. And hit the notification bell because I probably ultimately will have to end up streaming to YouTube. Because Twitch doesn't save the VOD because I'm not big enough. But YouTube saves it. YouTube will save it for me even if I'm small. Oh, thank you, Regulus. Yeah, there's a bunch in here. These are going to be just need to do a little more growing, and then they'll be up for sale. Oh, there's a little baby super white. I tell you, sometimes, you know, I in a rush, I have some eggs that get kicked out of a cave, and a lot of times I have to put them somewhere. So sometimes I end up having baby stuff that I don't even really realize. It's like, oh yeah, I guess I did put some of those eggs in here. So you know, a month or two later, you're like, where did that fish come from? Anyway, yeah, there's some small plecos in here, but all right, well, yeah, just sign up for my YouTube. I'd appreciate it. Maybe I'll just alternate between YouTube and Twitch. I'm not sure. It just depends. This phone will dual stream. My GoPro will not do dual stream. It doesn't overheat, but it won't dual stream, so I might have to make a choice. But yeah, sorry we couldn't stream today. And of course, tomorrow there won't be anybody streaming. We're gonna hit Dream Hacks. Jordan and I will be at Dream Hacks tomorrow. And I'm gonna take my GoPro with me, so I'm hoping, if I don't live stream, at least I want to shoot some video. If we meet some, you know, we meet some people and stuff, and at least get some pictures with folks. All right, RB, I appreciate it. Regulus, Ghost Badger, Neo, C-Word, RB, Octane, if you're here, if you guys are still here, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm missing somebody. I've forgotten now. Raquel, you guys are all loyal followers. I appreciate you. And for sure we should see you Monday. And hopefully all of us will be back together. If not, it'll be Mom and I racing to 60. And if I don't get myself killed, I know I'm going to win. Yes, RB. Yeah, we're gonna. All three of us are gonna go Sunday. Mama can't go; she got to stay home with Astro. All right, Ghost Badger. I appreciate it. You too. And it'll be this Dream Hacks will be interesting. I don't know what to expect. I've never been to anything like that, so we'll just take it as it comes, and it'll be good. I'm sure. Did I? Ghost Badger. Yes. I didn't call you a name. All right, y'all. Everybody have a good rest of your evening or morning or wherever you're at. And I appreciate you. And we will see you all later. Bye-bye.